Alright, we should be live. We're back. We're going to be doing more Lorwyn Eclipsed. No, no more of this. Never more of that. Yeah, if you have not seen that one, that is not good times. They botched something somewhere very badly, and my deck wound up with basic lands that don't match any of the colors or even the hybrid mana colors of cards in my deck. So, I have like 3 useless lands and 6 nearly useless lands in the deck, and it was just awful. Ooh, is that Doran? Love Doran. Doran's amazing. Super sad to be passing that one to pick up Doran, but I think we're supposed to, honestly. Each creature spell you cast that has toughness greater than its power costs 1 less to cast. We're gonna lock in Doran real quick. And whenever a creature you control attacks or blocks, it gets plus X until end of turn, where X is the difference in its power and toughness. So I had missed this with Doran originally. The X is the difference in its power and toughness. I thought the toughness had to be greater for that one also, but if you attack with like this 3-1, the difference is 2 and it becomes a 5-3, for example, with Doran out. We are passing Boggart Mischief, which if I wanted to try doing the Goblins deck, this is like the card I would definitely pack one, pick one. But Doran's a cool rare, and I'm down to try Doran, so now we're going to get past like Sourbread Auntie or something. Nope, okay. Convoke, as this enchantment enters, choose a creature type, double all damage that sources you control of the chosen type would deal. I've been really cool in my Goblins deck, but enough about that. Speaking of Goblins, do I want Wretched Wretch? So there's a lot of -1/-1 counter synergies to be had with Tree Folk in this set. So it's low-key tempting to grab a Wretched Wretch in case I want to blight onto this thing with one of my cards, but I don't have anything for it yet, so maybe this is just the fight card. The fight is bad with Doran itself. Well, it's a punch, but still. It's bad with Doran itself, but it works well with the other cards. I could also be taking the Merfolk, I guess. Actually, give me the Merfolk. Merfolk has different power and toughness, and it can tap down things. So maybe that's more interesting to me right now. Do I want a second one, or do I just want the removal spell? I think I just want the removal spell. Removal's better. Yeah, this Merfolk is worse when I don't have a bunch of other Merfolk, but it's also a 1-mana 2-1, which means once Doran's down, it's a 1-mana 3-2 when it attacks or blocks. So... Oh, I am definitely taking this thing, because this thing is crazy, and I don't think it should still be in the pack. Thornweft Lieutenant, not anything we desperately need. I would love to have a Foraging Wickermaw and this Blight Rot, but yeah, we're going to take the Doomsday Enchantment here. So, Affinity for Forest makes it cost less to cast. Landfall, it makes a 3/4 Reach Creature token. Yeah, so with 3 forests out, this is a 5-drop. And then Landfall, it makes a 3/4 Reach. That is not beatable at all without enchantment removal or some insane board states where you weren't going to, win the game anyway. Especially if you can cast this and play a land on the same turn. If it's actually not even a do-nothing enchantment, it just straight up does the thing. Probably going to take Shimmer Creep right now over Blighted Blackthorn. Although Blackthorn would be fine here. Let me just get this thing. Since I'm already trying to do a 3-color deck, let me take a creature that rewards me for being 3+ colors. I'm also, like I said, down for the Wicker Folk at any point in time if we can pick some up. That is an overgrown tomb when I have Doran. I think I'm just supposed to grab an overgrown tomb here. I don't think this mythic is particularly strong. Search my library for a creature card with mana value X or less, reveal and put it in my hand, then shuffle. If it shares a creature type with the two, like I can behold two creatures and then put the card directly into play, but that's really, really hard to accomplish. I think I want the Loyalist first over the Changeling. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna grab these elves right now. Since I already am inclined to be heavier green with the nursery out. Informant, I suppose, over any of the other ones. It smooths my early draws, and then... Yeah, no thank you, Lava Leaper. Actually, no, give me this, because it works really well with Doran. Take Midnight Tilling over the other two, but I'm not a full-on Elves deck, so I'm probably not running it. Take the Lieutenant and the Pump Spell. This is a stupid card, and I actually kind of hate that it exists. Passing Grave Shifter. Oval Hurler might be playable in this deck. Bog Slither's Embrace, but yeah, this thing is just impossibly dumb. I have to champion an elf, but that's okay. Should be able to do that pretty easily here. Spiral into Solitude or Eclipsed Elf. Honestly, I might just want the Eclipsed Elf here now. More elves, more better. Yeah, the fact that this one forces a block and we already have the one that can pump my elves, and it would get the bonus from Doran, it would actually be a 6/4 at that point. Might still take this, honestly. So this is one of those cards that when you're behind, it catches you up because it doesn't super matter a lot of the time if your stuff is dying, and when you're ahead, you just don't have to cast it. But there are so many decks that, like, all of their creatures have 2 or less power to begin with, so it neuters everything and kills most of the stuff on the board. Now, the problem with that is it does that to both players' boards, so a lot of the time, other players will all, like, they'll lose a bunch of their stuff, but so will you, so it's really hard to build a deck where that's not the case, where you don't lose a bunch of things if you have a board state. On the bright side, I do have Doran, so if I grab more Tree Folk, this will work. Unfortunately, it still kills everything that Doran pumps that has 2 toughness base, because they only get it when attacking, so even if they, like, live through combat and then they get the counters, they'll still die eventually. Love Blossoming Defense, but I think this is just the Wicker Maw. I think Wicker Maw might be my favorite card in this set now. Like, I just want to do multicolored things. Grab that one good card in the 3rd color or on the splash. Really want the Chomping Changeling, but I also really desperately want this. And also, this is an 0/4, which means it's a 4/8 with Doran. Alright, grab a removal spell now. I don't need the Trapper. White seems like it's going to be a light splash for Doran. And definitely Liminal Hold. Goblin is fine, but I think I like having one more way to fix my mana. Guaranteed. Not a huge fan of Malice. I think I take the Kithkin there. Also, this is, like, Springleaf Drum is very good for, ramping with Merfolk, because so many of them have tap abilities, or when they, not tap abilities, but when they become tapped. Spry and Mighty. Choose 2 creatures you control. You draw X cards, and the chosen creatures get +X/+X and gain trample until end of turn, where X is the difference between the chosen creature's power. That is a huge buff, potentially. But there's also a Moonlit Lamenter who would be strong here, and another Great Forest Druid. It's strong, but I don't have a lot of ways to blight onto my own stuff to make the Lamenter, like, at its best. It's entirely possible I just want this Great Forest Dryad more, but we're going to try out the rare and see how it plays, because we have some 0 power creatures and then some, like, giant power creatures, so that's just asking to win the game. When this creature enters, Surveil 2. Whenever one or more other creatures you control enter, if they were cast from a graveyard, create a token that's a copy of them. This ability triggers only once each turn. Entered or were cast from the graveyard. I don't have any reanimation spells, though. So I'm probably just better off taking the 4 mana, ostensibly numbers, like huge numbers. I do love the Wayfinder. I'd probably take that if this wasn't there. Oh, maybe I still take the 3 mana 3/3. We have taken goblins. We might have had 2 collective infernos. Well, we wouldn't have gotten the second one back, but like 2 Boggart Mischiefs and a collective inferno if we were goblins. Take my first blossoming defense. There is Bark of Doran, and I do have a handful of creatures that would actually benefit from that, including Doran himself, you know, attacking as a 11 power creature at that point, but I think blossoming defense is just too good. Protective response is fine. Take a Bog Slither's Embrace, though. I don't have a ton of removal, so picking up one of those is good. Take a 3/1 that's hard to kill and attacks as a 5/3 with Doran. Yeah, give me the Ramping Elf. I do have to get an elf into my graveyard, though, which might be difficult with this deck, so maybe it doesn't make it through deck building, but we'll see. Just take the big finishing body. Ah, cool. We wheeled the O4. We wheeled the thing I wanted to take initially out of the pack anyway. Yeah, I think there were 3 things I was willing to take out of that pack, but okay, so once again, I like the deck. I like what it's doing. I'm excited to play with it. We'll have to see if it's actually any good. This format is kind of nuts so far. There are a lot of super bomby cards that just run away with games. We have one of them in the 6/6 Elf that draws you a card whenever you play a spell. It's a 4 mana 6/6, and the only requirement is that you had an elf to give up while it's in play, and you get that elf back when it leaves. And in the meantime, Alright, we probably don't need the plains. We can probably go up another forest. We have 1, 2, 3 other white sources. T colon creature. Alright, how much of my own stuff survives Darkness Descends? No. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, probably 7. Because even if the things go to the graveyard, like if it kills all my other stuff, it still gets the bonus. I lost count, though, from describing that. 1, 2, 3, 4. None of these. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 6 creatures that insta-die to that, and I don't even know that I necessarily need the 4-2 Trampler. How many of my things are tree folk? 3 and 1 shapeshifter, so 4. Towards this thing getting online. I mean, I can probably cut this thing. It does count for the Vivid. It does become a 6/4 with Doran out, which is crazy. But it's also one of the least impactful creatures on its own. It naturally has trample for this thing, though. Like, it's not terrible here. I'm not a huge fan of this card. Like, a lot of the time, its stats are just kind of meh. But it does interact with a bunch of my other stuff. It's an elf for the purposes of the champion. I can probably lose the Dignitary. I don't have a ton of ways to put an elf in my graveyard immediately. I think I can lose that. I need 1 high power creature and 1 low power creature. So I have a bunch of 0s and 1s for the low power, and I have a bunch of 3s and higher for the high-end power. So getting to draw, like, at least 2 cards and giving 2 creatures +2/+2 and trample is not the worst, and that's like that's not quite the floor for this card. The floor for it is me having 1 creature in play and top decking it in a crucial situation. Because then it's worse than a land, but ceiling seems to be much higher than that. I can probably lose the 10, honestly. I think it's particularly good here. We have other ways to get white mana. And do I lose an Auntie's Sentence? Do I lose the 4/2? I want to try the Spry and Mighty with the deck that I have. Like, this is probably about where it's going to be at its best. Maybe if I had, like, 1 or 2 more Tree Folk. Or similar. And, like, 1 more, like, if we had a bit more disparity, like, if we had a couple more high power creatures and a couple more low power creatures, instead of having, like, a handful that are kind of closer to the middle ground, to guarantee that the bonus is going to be huge. Obviously, if, like, the low power creature is Doran, we're just gonna absolutely smash face, because it's gonna be a huge power and toughness boost to both of my creatures. It's possible with the 2 Great Forest Druids I could go down a land, but I don't think so. Plus, I actually benefit from landfall, so... Maybe it's one of the sentences, and we just go from there. Alright. Like I said, I like the deck. I think it's going to do... not well, but... adequate. This looks like a deck where I would be sad if I didn't get at least 3 wins with it. I have literally my best card. Both of my planes in my opening hand and only 1 green source. I'm going to keep this, but I could definitely see losing with this hand. The bright side is I can cast Doran if I can draw him. That's going to be neat. Back their Evolving Wilds. Go get... Is that a Plains? That is a Plains. I was really hoping for, like, first of all, any cheap creature, first and foremost, but... Perfect. Am I supposed to wait until turn 5 to cast my guy? They are black-white. I probably should, since I drew Blossoming Defense. Or if I draw another... no. Even if I draw another elf, I think I wait... That is their tapped creature? Yeah, that's worth killing. If I don't kill that, I can't kill any of their other creatures in combat, so... No, I think I do just pass. I'm going to play the land, hold up a green, run out this thing, behold this one. Unless I draw a worse elf somehow. Because, yeah, if they're just sitting on a ton of removal here... If they're sitting on an actual ton of removal here, they might be able to get it, because they'll be able to attempt to kill it now, and then kill it on their turn. But... Okay, perfect. Ideal. Because, yeah, that means I get to run out my elf next turn and draw a card, and then I'm going to be doing great. Especially if they spend their turn trying to kill my 6/6 here. And failing. Like, if this is 5 mana, exile target creature. I don't think I can lose. Close enough. Perfect. Unintended. Yeah, let's cast this one first. Draw my card. See what we hit. And I'm down. If they have, like, the Death Touch Lifelink trick, and they kill my guy, especially since I've drawn this now, I'm fine with that. And if they don't, they're taking 6 damage here, and yeah. I already got my card's worth of value out of it. So... Ooh, do they have the 4/1/1 counters? So they're going to kill my 4/4? Because I couldn't kill the 6/6 with that. Wait, how much mana did they have last turn? If they had 3 mana, they might have supposed to have killed my guy there in combat. So unless they just drew it? Ah, okay. Yep, that's fine. I can't stop them from exiling my guy. Like, I stopped one exile effect, and then they played a different one, so... There's not a whole lot I can do about that. Now I got planes in my hand. Let's cast this. Pre-combat. Play the planes. Jam for 5. And yeah, let's cast Dorn. Yeah, play this one pre-combat because it deals an extra point of damage, but play Dorn post-combat so that way he's there to buff up this elf to a 4/3 when it attacks. Well, they know what the card in my hand is, so if they want to make me discard it, that's fine. Dorn attacks as a 5/10. Yep, you got it. Alright, so 3, 4, 5. I don't get 2 pumps regardless, so... They don't have to chump here because of the lifelink, but they kind of have to chump here because I can just pump my other guy. And... yeah, just pump my other guy. I think they missed that they weren't going to be able to gain enough life here to survive it. Yay, I did that thing where I took half a second to think about the play I was about to make and made the better one instead. Good job, me. Well played, Saber. Look, somebody's gotta boost my morale. Might as well be me. And that's the end of my soda from lunch. Grab my water. And we're good to go. Once again, both planes in the opening hand. Look, it's fine, because I have all of my colors, and I have ways to fix for my other color requirements. So, it's not like... This is what, like, if I had put the third planes in here and one of these two were planes, that would be the problem, especially if it was the forest. But... since that is not the case, we are good to go. They make a 1/1. I'm assuming they're merfolk until they play a mountain. At which point in time I assume they're like 3+ color elementals, or they could just miss on a land drop, I guess. Hey, they didn't bother to equip. Also did not counterspell my thing. We lost Sentence and the other Druid. I'll take the 4/2 here then. Since I have the Loyalist in my hand, I can pump it up. And they bricked on a land again. So they kept a sketchy hand and just did not get there. I wonder what they had in their hand that they didn't bother equipping, though. Because you kind of need your guy to be a 2/2 to trade off with my early things. Like, you're not attacking into the 0/4, obviously, but... you definitely want to be able to trade with any of my X2s that I'm going to run out. To try and staunch the bleeding until you can find land. So I'm wondering what spell they had that they didn't want to cast. Probably Run Away Together at that point, because it would erase the token. I am going to keep this based purely on the nursery being in my hand and having 3 forests. to a 7-drop. Milled a red card. Alright, play out my 0-4. Alright, so 3 mana and it's a 7-drop. Next turn, 4 mana and it's a 6-drop, so we're almost at the point where we're going to be able to cast it. And start churning out a 3-4 every time we play a land for the rest of the game. I'm wondering if they legit did not have a mountain in their hand then. They were looking for one. Because this thing is incredibly powerful. Alright, the 0-4 is too important to my plans. And next turn I'm going to have Blossoming Defense available, so unless they have the 4 damage right now. In which case, they probably should have just killed my guy while I was tapped out. Yeah, they probably didn't have the mountain, then they're probably like a 3 or 4 color Vivid deck. Alright, keep playing out the forests to get this thing in range. One, two, three, 4. Next turn, play the land and we can cast it if we want to. You have to play the forest to be able to cast it. It'll depend on what I draw and what they make me do here, whether or not I'm just running it out. Because if they attack with the 3-1, this time I will block with the 0-4 now that I'm able to Blossoming Defense it. Make them do their thing. They're going to let damage happen first, and then tweeze my guy or something. Oh, they just have a Tam? Sure. Yep! Yeah, let's get that one online. That one seems good. And killing it gives me back the thing that revives it, so that I can behold it again. That's not even fair. That's cruel, is what that is. I hope I draw a forest next turn, so that I can cast my enchantment and still be holding up Blossoming Defense without having to run out of land first. I mean, not only do I get to just do this and protect my guy, I also, if they do kill my thing somehow, I get the elf back and just get to replay him anyway, so that's not even the end of the thing. Yeah, we're still gonna save it this time, though. Make them do something else to kill it. Opponent, you didn't even get to see all of my good stuff. So dumb. That thing is so dumb. Why is it a 6/6? Like, it did not need to be. That thing could have been a 4/4, and it still would have been amazing. Why is it a 6/6? I mean, I'm on the play. I'm going to keep this hand. I'll have to see if I can draw Blossoming Defense again, but... yeah. Just see what they thought they were going to be doing. Take their best thing. Disruptor of Currents... They have a 3 damage spell. I think this is just take the hold. Like, yeah, they're gonna get to bounce my 6/6 once, but that's it. Okay. So that... can't cast that yet. And a value 3 or greater. Oh, it's mana value 3 or greater, so they're going to be able to kill the champion regardless, so we want to get them to use it on this thing right now. Yep. This thing permanent or just creature? Non-land permanent. This is another card that I think is absolutely ridiculous in this format. I can mill to plains. Unfortunately, we are exiling our only other creature, but this will force them to do something else or die, and I'm fine with either. It'll be really bad if they have one of the enchantment-based removal spells in blue-white. Like, if they can just lock it down. Although, as long as I draw creatures, we'll get out of it. But if I brick on creatures... still fine. And then bounce it, sure. Oh. That is also a stupidly powerful card, but first things first. Let's get this back online. Yeah, they might actually be in a ton of trouble. If they don't have a counterspell here, I do not like their chances. They only have one unknown, so if they just run out their 3/3, yeah. Like, there's no one blue spell that's gonna get me here. They could have the destroy an attacking or blocking creature to kill my 6/6, but I think I'm fine with that at this point. Just thought you might like to know that's coming. Tap down my 6/6. Or don't. Trade off 2 of your guys for my 6/6. It's also fine. I'm actually down for that at this point. But yeah, every land I draw is another creature. Right now, their best thing would probably be run away together to bounce their 3/3 and my token. Alright, so I was gonna say they're gonna hit me for a ton of damage. Yeah, I might get tempoed out still. I really needed a spell there. Yeah, I don't even think I can attack now. I could really use a creature next turn. If I live next turn, if I live to next turn, I could really use a creature. Right now, on board, I think they can deal me 5, but that's losing too much of their stuff. So they need... whatever the card in their hand is going to determine whether or not they have an attack here. Bright side, if they don't have an attack, I definitely get to make another 3/4 next turn. Downside is I really need to draw any other creature spell so I can get another body to hold off like their ground creatures and start finding more stuff to do. Ideally drawing a creature into a removal. Alright, they're gonna deal me a bunch of damage here in theory. Absolutely blocking the biggest one. And 4. Go to my turn. If I were not flooding out, I would definitely be winning this game. I mean, I'm only in this because flooding out with this enchantment in play just creates a pile of 3/4s in their way. But... one spell is all they're gonna need. And every turn they don't draw that one spell, any creature that they draw is potentially lethal with that one more spell, so... does that do it? Cuts me in half again, but I still get to kill one of their flyers in this scenario, so no. Alright. Oh my god! I think I actually have to start attacking now. Can't trump with the 1/1. That's half my life total. If they don't actually have anything here, That's close to not actually having anything here, if I'm being honest. So is that. Yeah, they have 4 attackers and I have 4 blockers, so they're not getting through. May I please draw a non-land now? Thank you. That is super helpful, actually. Yeah, we need to leave up the forest, or the plains, rather, in case we draw Doran. There we go. There we go. Okay. Alright. Okay. Leave that on top. Play my land. Make another 3/4. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7. They would need to trade most of their board here, and I still have that thing out, so. Yep, okay. Start applying pressure. And by start, I mean continue applying the pressure from the previous turn, but, you know. Oh, that thing is insanely dangerous. I'm not going to be able to attack with any more of the reach creatures for a while now. I'm going to have to kill that. That thing's a problem. On the bright side, I know I'm killing it next turn, but still. Alright. So, attack. Attack. Then tap my guy pre-combat to make a 1/1, so. Yeah, they're going to be able to do that basically anyway, so. And they always have the drum if I kill the tapper, so that's not helping. So we need to kill the Fairy Maker. That's 11 damage, so they just gave up. Okay, good enough. Okay. I thought we were going to lose that despite being able to make a 3/4 every turn. Just because I wasn't doing anything else. Like, if I had drawn the creature first and got to go, like, creature, land, make a 3/4, I would have felt so much more confident. Because we were so close to being dead. Like, that one turn where I attacked, I think I got a little bit too aggressive, because if they could have bounced or otherwise removed one of the other tokens, they could have tapped the other one and killed me, so I did give them a window there. So I was definitely not supposed to attack with the 3/4 that turn. Wound up not being an issue. 1 second. Alright, I think I cleared out enough that I can breathe again. Voice is still a little weak, though. We're keeping this hand. We get to go 2-drop, 3-drop. We'll find out if our one thing actually does anything here. Do I want to draw a 4-2 against a deck that presented red mana turn 1? Because it's most likely either goblins or elementals. I think that's fine against goblins and elementals. Like, either make them spend their mana to kill my thing. Well, I left the card on top, so they know I'm not getting rid of it now. Unless I change my mind because my creature died. Still run out this thing first. Actually bricked. 2 removal spells, my 3/5, and my planes. Wow. That is about as bad as that gets. Into a 2/4. Which is fine. That's why we have the 4/2. Maybe I should have run out Overgrown Tomb. I'm not holding anything up this turn. Now I'm not going to have 5 mana next turn without losing 2 life. Like if they play, I don't know, the Fancy Dragon, for example. Well, that thing's a massive problem, but more for the things it enables them to cast. And my planes went to the bottom, so Doran is uncastable here. Just draw 1 card and give my guys +1/+1 and trample right now. That can't be correct. So I wonder if I'm actually supposed to exile their guy and put a count, like by putting a counter on one of my things, so that way the power and toughness difference is higher. In case I don't see the other planes anytime soon, or an 0/4. The problem is whatever they're going to cast, they're going to be able to cast eventually. But yeah, I do think so. Alright, so we blight 1, target that, hit this guy. See if this works. Play the land tapped. Pass turn. Alright, so they would be able to cast that, and they decide to cycle it instead, so that's actually a huge plus for me then. Killing the 1/1 essentially turned this thing into a land. But that doesn't matter much if they have one of the mythic incarnations. Well, planes are bust, and I only have one of those. It's really not the worst. Okay, fine. Take a 6/6. Holds off their team. I'm still kind of in planes or bust mode, because I don't think the 6/6 is going to hold them off forever. Or possibly even this turn. Deal. I assume it was the 4 damage spell. They could blight onto their thing. Oh, they have an Ashling's Command. Or not Ash... Yeah, Ashling's Command. I mean, that's about as weak as Ashling's Command gets, so... Currently have 3 dead creatures, so this thing's a 5/5. Alright. They discarded a 2 damage burn spell. Alright. Take the 2 there. Do they have one of the counter spells? No. Okay. Play the land because I'm hoping to draw some cards next turn. They discarded a 2 damage burn spell. That's actually or 4 damage if they blight. That's genuinely terrifying because that means they have something else for my other guy. Yep. Yeah, this thing has been very underwhelming so far. And I don't really think I can afford to take 7 damage here and go to 3 with their board state, but... Yep. I've had worse offers. But any 4-mana spell here is going to kill me. Yeah, okay. And anything that gets rid of my guy. Like, a 4-mana spell turns their thing into a 4/4 Vigilance, so I have to trade with it. And anything else, like any removal spell, obviously just killed me there, so... Because they have exactly 6 damage on board. Alright. I mean, we made it to 4 wins before I got my first loss, so... I'm already a happy camper. I just want to do some more cool stuff with this deck before it's all over. Alright. I'm down for keeping this. Yeah, bricking on the first attempt with the Twilight Elf, or whatever they're called, Eclipsed Elf. That was incredibly brutal. Yeah, I'm still going to run out the forest in case we find the enchantment. And yeah, let's just get a 4/4 down. Obviously, they can have a white spell that deals with my 4/4, but... I was going to say I'm not super worried just yet. Alright, start punching their face in. I don't want to discard any of these cards, so I'm almost definitely not going to, but... copies a triggered ability. Yeah, let's play the plane so that I have it. Alright, deal them 9. So they could copy this if they really super wanted to. I don't think that they do, but what do I know? They want to tap a bunch of their creatures. I ain't gonna stop them. Like, they have to block next turn, so... Okay. So they get whatever land they're missing, they get 2 of those. Unsurprisingly, it's an island, given the 1/3 flyer. Oh, they did get a mountain, though. Okay. Yeah, it's not particularly good here, is it? Alright, attack with both. The other one block. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1. So if we just go ahead and pump him for 2 damage. I mean, they were missing a color, so we just got to run them over. But they weren't doing much with the things that they had, so I do wonder what blue spells they had that they just couldn't make use of in time. Or they thought that was... Or they're just like, okay, I have some castable spells. I'm gonna keep this. It just didn't work out. You monster. Finally, we drew the plains instead of the forest and everything's gone wrong. I have some time, but if I don't draw a forest, I'm going to lose. But I do like my hand if I draw the forest a lot, so... And I can miss... Technically, I can miss twice on the land before it becomes an issue, and 3 times on the forest before it becomes a huge issue. Then they might just kill my champion and I'm gonna be sad, but we'll see. Alright. I'm gonna keep it. Well, at least if I draw swamps, I'll have more stuff to do, so... Ah, perfect. And yeah, I'm just gonna pay my 2 life and get my guy online now. It's way too good not to... Alright, yeah. Yeah, if I just get to slam this next turn, drain them for 2, and draw a card, I'm gonna feel pretty far ahead. I slam this, drain them for 2, draw my card, attack for 6, either trade off my guy. Do I cast this one first now? Probably, because I might draw a second creature I can cast. Let's play the plains first so I can hold up the swamp. This thing is not castable with what I have. Alright, just drew another forest. Alright, I'm still going to attack for 6. If they can kill an attacking creature, that's fine. If they can pump their guy and trade. Although I don't think there's anything that gives enough of a bonus by itself. So, this is going to be... Ah, they're just going to save their creature. Sure. Okay. I was going to say, they do have to be very careful about the 4-2 because it does need to be blocked. So... Like, they can't choose to block my other creature. I was going to say, so whatever they're running out might just die here. One, two, three, and 1, 2, 3. So I can't double spell. Yeah, let's kill that, see what they do. The answer was nothing. Okay, and they're just off it now. They're gonna take too much damage from my guys, because I'm gonna buff the other elf when I attack also, and they didn't have anything to kill it last time. Alright. 6 and 1. Off to a great start today. We got to draft a 3-color deck with a cool rare, and we got to play that rare. We also got to try out what is very rapidly proving to be a very bad rare, I think. Like, there have not been a whole lot of places where that thing was... Where if I had have drawn it, it would have actually been a good card in my hand. I mean, I kind of have to pick up a forest off Eclipsed Elf unless I draw one naturally in the first 3 turns, but... Ooh, perfect, actually. Right, now I have infinite priority because of the 3-1. Let's see what I draw first. I did draw a forest, so I can attack into this and discard the swamp now. If they block. Kill their dude, play my forest, cast a 3-2, pick up another land, most likely. I really want the Vigil, but I can't cast it. I think I should just pick up the forest. I think it's too bad if I send 2 forests to the bottom and then don't find a green source and take a 4-drop double green spell. Perfect. Actually, I should have attacked with him because I could discard this. Also, apparently they weren't blocking anyway, so... I was gonna say, we'll see if they block. Because a block is good for me here. I'm actually gonna hold the plains for a turn, because if I draw a forest and can cast this, then I can run out the plains afterwards. That's not good for me. Alright. Get my insane enchantment online. Good, they made another body. Hopefully they make one more here. Would be, like, not from that, you know what I mean. Alright, so trade off there. Yeah, I just want them to try and press their advantage by playing, like, one more creature here. Would be perfect. Oh, no, don't put it on him. Put it on one of the other ones. Put it on the untapped one, just in case you need it. Damn it. Damn it, opponent, stop making the correct play. Alright, so kill all their stuff, except for their one creature. Make a 3-4. Cast this thing. Which elves are in my graveyard? Eclipsed and Iron Shield? Yeah, it's good enough. I can stay on top. Oh, cool, they killed their guy. That was nice of them. Four, 5, 6. I could have 2 colors in play, which doesn't allow my thing to attack. Alright, so cast this. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 toughness, and 7 power. So I will be able to kill the 6/7 if it attacks. Oh, right, 2 creatures are in it. Never mind, I can't kill it now because 2 creatures entered. 3, 6, 7... Oh, wait, I can still kill it if I want to spend the Blossoming Defense also. That's 8, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, so I get to keep 1 creature. Yeah. It's not great. I don't love it. That was nice. So let me keep 2 creatures. So I can give +3/+3. Attack for 10 real quick. Okay. Oh, did that kill me? Yeah, it did. Just barely, but yeah. Yeah, removing my creature, and they needed like 2 creatures from their hand to enter to kill me there, or 1 creature that buffed all their stuff in this case. So, same difference. Alright. One last chance. Final boss. I mean, it's got my best card in the hand and a way to surveil towards one of my other colors of mana. So, gonna be really hard pressed to mulligan that away. Yep, crack their fetch. See what color they get. Island. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna leave the tomb on top. It is my black source and it's a forest for my thing, so it's kind of a double whammy. I think it enters tap, though. I don't get to hold up Blight Rot, but I also probably don't need to do that on turn 3. There's very few creatures they could cast here where I'd be like, yes, that is the thing I need to kill. Oh, they're a while away from casting it. Yeah, this is fine. 3/1 doesn't get through their 1/4 anyway, and I get another Surveil off of this, so... Yeah. Yeah, I'm good. Alright. It has to be this thing. Hang on, I'm gonna hack up a lung real quick. Be right back. Okay. I'm back. And they haven't done anything yet. Man, where are my Evolving Wilds? Now, does their Evolving Wilds get a 3rd color? Not yet. Oh, that is not a land. Let's go find one. Oh good, I didn't see like my crazy elf that I would take here. 3, 4. They're still a mana away from casting their Shine Striker. Oh, they cast that during my main phase. Or they activate it during my main phase. Is there a reason to kill their 3/2 here? There's a minor reason to. They're going to start casting 4-drops now. That will trigger it, but alright. Let's attack for 6 first. Make them do stuff. Or take some damage. Ah, okay. That works. Get to kill their 3/2. There's also a tiny bit of temptation to kill off their 1/4 here, just because then the flyer would only draw them 1 card if they cast it, and they'd have to wait. But apparently none of that matters. Ooh, and the 3... Well, now I'm really glad I trade off the token, because the 3/2 that bounces... They're going to hold on to that until I have another token, unfortunately, but... There's not a whole lot I could do about that. Man, their deck is crazy. Let's see. Yeah, I really need a land here. I can't comfortably double spell, right? Like, nothing actually lets me double spell here. Alright. Just pay the 3 and kill the 6/5. Then I have no attacks, because my options are to trade my 3/2 for 3 points of damage, or to bounce harmlessly off of their guys, so... So apparently, from what I was hearing earlier today, Ashling's Command is like the #1 win rate in hand card in the format on 17 lands right now. Which does not surprise me. I appreciate how way back when, like, at the end of the streamer release thing, like, you know, where a lot of streamers got to play the set for 24 hours, whatever they call that thing. Elementals was like the front runner for worst color pair, like for worst supported archetype in the format. And now the elemental theme card is like the most powerful one. That was specifically red-blue elementals, not like vivid elementals that people were saying that about. But still. Now granted, every time I saw a winning blue-red elementals deck, it had things like Ashling, Ashling's Command, the Goblin Student, the blue-red one. So, the rare bombs, it might be like Black in Avatar, where the rare bombs are just good enough that if you have access to them, you should be playing a base black deck in Avatar or a blue-red deck in Lorwyn. Because the bombs will, in fact, get you there. Or maybe it was just not enough data yet, and people hadn't figured out how to play the deck properly. Oh man, always good times when the opponent has to discard a card. Because hand size. Alright, what do I have in my graveyard? I do technically have an elf in the graveyard. Yeah, let's just put pressure on them. They have 1 trillion cards in hand. I need to kill them dead before they get to do too much. Legitimately, I might supposed to discard the liminal hold here, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. Trade, take 5. We're going to be able to kill the token next turn, basically for free. Yeah, I think I'm going to. I don't think it's great, but... They have, again, 1 billion cards. I need to put pressure on them so that way they just die before they get to do anything. Do they have any changelings in their graveyard? No. Okay. This can copy any creature, though. Yeah, that's what I want to make sure. I want to make sure they couldn't copy my elf, for example. They could try and copy my 3/5 and drain me for... let's see, they have black, red, and blue, so 3 damage and gain 3 life, while getting the Menace guy off the board for a turn. Or not off the board for a turn, sorry. I'm thinking they have the bounce and the copy, so they need to bounce the 3/4 and copy the 3/5. Well, we're going to kill that in response to their bounce guy. Because that's a huge problem. Alright. I assumed they were going to play the bounce guy here, but if they're going to hold up something to protect it instead, then I'm not going to be able to kill their 3/3 anyway, so I need to use my mana efficiently now. Double Ashlings! Oh my god! Jesus! Jesus! That is insane. Well, I lose now because they're going to get to copy the stupid thing to bounce my stuff, so they're going to get to bounce 2 things here, which means both of my tokens would get erased anyway. Oh my god, that's so terrible. Yep. They just put all the 1/4s on everything? Yeah. Alright. Is there anything I can hit here that would actually help? I'm gonna hold the Forest because they're already going to cast the one thing and double bounce my board, so... But yeah, I'm just miles behind now. My 3/5 can't get through their wall of 1/4s, and they're either going to copy the copy guy, or copy the bounce creature after copying the bounce creature's trigger. And both of those are really bad for me. Yeah, they get to kill the token by default, and then bounce him, sure. And then they get to tap 2 of their guys and their 3 lands, and if they want to, they can bounce my other 2 creatures that aren't the 3/5 life drain creature. Or they can sit on it and wait until they think they need to. Because right now the 4/2 is not amazing, because I have to spend... Yeah, I'm going to be like short mana to cast and activate in the same turn to buff the 4/2 so it can attack into their board. Alright, they are just going to do it now. Draw 2 cards, because it's an elemental that they get to copy. Yeah, maybe people were just building really bad blue-red elemental decks. Like, they weren't getting the good cards. Because... this seems insane. Oh, really? Out of all of the creatures, I would think that that would be the last one they would want to bounce. But, that's just me. Yeah, I'm actually going to exile him. Play that. Play my land, make the 3/4, cast this, draw a card. Alright. I mean, if anything's going to get me out of the double Ashling command, copy all my elemental trigger guys. All my elementals triggers. 3/3 flyer. It's going to be my Treefolk Enchantment Maker plus my 6/6 draw a card whenever I cast a creature spell. Because they just put 2 creature spells in my hand, so... how many cards they have? They have 9 cards left in their deck, by the way. Okay, never mind. Never mind. They get to kill my Treefolk token and bounce my 6/6, so that way I would have to recast him. Actually... like, bouncing the Treefolk is more the problem than bouncing the 6/6. 3, 6... 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, this feels like I have to block the most damage possible first. I'm just taking way too much damage. Yeah, let's do the most expensive one. Because now I just want to run this thing out and drain them. Did that kill them? 2. And then they have 2 colors. But it double triggers. Yep, okay, so if they can't kill me right this second... which currently all of their creatures except for this guy have 0 power. So... oh, I'm sorry, the flyer has 1 power. Never mind. I mean, that doesn't... this is 4 damage. This does not kill me. Whew. 5 damage, sorry. Because they double pumped him. Alright. I just wanted to play him because I wanted to play him this whole time. Okay. So yeah, the only reason we won that is because they ran out of cards because they had so many cards to work with, and their draw triggers were not optional near the end there. Also, drawing the -2/-2 there to neuter all of their creatures so that I would get the win. Okay, that felt real good. That felt amazing. Alright, so let's ruin that feeling now by doing a second one that won't go anywhere near as well. If you're watching this live, give me a minute and we'll start another one. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a good rest of your day.